Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be going over what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. But before we get into any of that stuff, we got to talk about the car that's sitting right beside me right here. This is available this week and it is the Lampadaddy Tigon. It's a pretty cool vehicle. It's definitely pretty unique actually. It's kind of old looking, but it's also modern at the same time. It's really strange, but also just really cool. It's got some nice customization, pretty good performance. It is in the supercars category as well, so do keep that in mind. And it's going to be available within the LS car meet this week, and it is discounted, so that is good. But now of course we got to talk about how to make some money this week in Grand Theft Auto Online to afford things like the Tigon. To start things off, we have Till Death Do Us Apart on triple money and triple RP. So if you're a lower level, this is probably going to be the best way to earn money this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. It is an adversary mode. Generally adversary modes are pretty good, so if you can find a group of people to do this with, you will start raking in the money pretty quick, because triple money and triple RP is it's definitely nothing to play with. It's not the best way to earn money by far, but it's, you know, if you don't have any other businesses or anything like that, it's kind of a fun way to also earn, you know, a decent amount of money. So definitely check out Till Death Do Us Apart. However, if races are something that you enjoy doing, transform races are double money and double RP this week, as far as ROCKSTAR created ones under the stunt racing category under the online tab go. Transform races are cool. They're definitely pretty neat. They're, you know, you can hold a lot of players in them, and if you get like a full lobby of transform races, you're gonna probably make a pretty decent amount of money from doing them. So again, if you're lower level, these are the two things you're going to want to probably be focusing on this week, because that is going to be just the simplest way to earn a decent amount of money. However, we do have another way to earn money this week. It's not technically bonus money, but it does allow you to maybe earn a little bit additional in comparison to what you would normally get. Within the casino heist, diamonds are actually available this week to be found as casino heist loot, which is definitely better than what you can normally find. They're worth a little bit more money, so if you guys do have access to the diamond casino, you will be able to find diamonds this week. Now of course, with the diamond casino heist, you do have to do it with one other player, so your profits are going to be split down the middle, but you can earn some additional money from the casino heist if you do find those diamonds within the vault. So keep that in mind for sure. Now of course, it is also Valentine's Day, so we're going to get a bunch of free Valentine's stuff like shirts and outfits and stuff like that, so that is kind of cool as well. And also, logging into GTA Online this week, you will get $188,888 as part of the Lunar New Year event that's been going on for a few days now. Now of course, tying into the diamonds being able to be found in the casino heist, it does kind of tie into our business discount for the week, which is on the arcade. Arcades are 30% off this week, including renovations and upgrades, so that is pretty cool. If you don't have an arcade, you should definitely get one. I would advise you to get one in a decent location, basically anything towards like Rockford Hills and stuff like that. I don't personally like love. My arcades that I own, I have one up here, and then I also on console have one right here, because it's very close to my auto shop as well as my nightclub, my MC Clubhouse, so it's, you know, makes sense for me to own that one. I would say get whatever one, you know, you want, obviously. I think that the La Mesa location is actually pretty good though. If not, maybe the Davis location. Both of those are pretty decent, so just keep that in mind. And also within the arcade, the upgrades are 30% off, so you can get the master control terminal in it, which will spawn in the basement, and it will allow you to resupply all of your businesses from one location, which is really useful to have. So if you can get that this week as well as an arcade, or get that in your arcade that you might already own, you should definitely do that, because the master control terminal is very clutch. Now we do have some vehicle discounts going on this week. We're going to get into those right after we go to the casino as well as the car meet, and find out the podium vehicle and the prize ride. So let's go ahead and do that. Within the casino, the podium vehicle for the week is the True Fade Adder, which is my favorite car in the entire game, so you best believe that I'm going to be in here every single day trying to win it, and hopefully I can actually pull it off. The Adder is an awesome car. It's an OG supercar. At one point, it was the most expensive vehicle in the entire game. I think it's pretty cool. No customization, unfortunately, but you don't really need it. I think it's a good looking car already. So it is the podium vehicle for the week. Within the LS car meet, the prize ride this week is the Vapid Hustler, a relatively uncommon vehicle in GTA Online these days, at least. And in order to win this thing, you're going to have to place first for 3 days in a row in LS car meet series races. Now, this is a relatively harder challenge because you're going to have to find a car meet race that's going on to actually be able to win this. and not only that, you're going to have to win it. So unless you got somebody to win trade with, I would say that it's not really super worth it to try to win this thing. It's not the greatest car ever, that's for sure. It is pretty cool. It's like a novelty item. If you want it, definitely it's worth it, but if you could kind of care less, I wouldn't really go for it, honestly. As far as the vehicles that are available within the car meet, we have the Coil Brawler here on the left. We also have the Ocelot Swinger and the Lampadaddy Tagon. The Tagon for me is definitely a must purchase. This thing is absolutely awesome. It's also discounted by 30% off, making it just a little bit more affordable, and that means that it is going to cost you just over $1.6 million, which is a little bit of a steeper price, but it is a really cool looking car, and I think it is worth it. In the middle, we have the Ocelot Swinger, which is also 30% off here, meaning that it's going to be going for $636,000. A lot more of a fair price, in my opinion. That is actually a very good discount, and the Swinger is one of the fastest sports classic cars in the entire game. So if you want to win sports classic races, it's definitely a decent one to pick up. Not a whole lot in the way of customization for the Swinger, whereas with the Tagon, there's a little bit more. And then, of course, last but not least, we have the Coil Brawler here, which is not discounted this week, unfortunately. But it is a vehicle that I do not recommend purchasing. This thing has probably the absolute worst brakes in all of Grand Theft Auto Online. If you're going at speed and you need to brake, just expect to hit whatever's in front of you, because it will not do it fast enough. It does have some pretty decent customization. It is very cool looking, but I honestly can't necessarily say that I recommend picking it up because it's just simply not that good. Within Simeon's dealership, we do have quite a number of removed vehicles in here. We have the JB700 here, and no, this is not the weaponized variant of it, so it's just the regular. We also have the Pegassi Zaruso in Simeon's as well, and the Pegassi Vaca. The Vaca is removed. It's definitely one that I would sort of recommend picking up. It's $240,000, which isn't too bad. So the Vaca is definitely a cool one. We also have the Albany Roosevelt right here, which is pretty neat. However, I wouldn't recommend buying this one. There's actually another one at Luxury Autos that is a little bit better, that I would recommend a little bit more. So probably avoid the regular Roosevelt. And then of course we have the Dundreary Landstalker XL, which is a pretty cool vehicle. It's not the best, and it's, you know, it's an SUV, so it's not going to win you any SUV races. It is really cool looking, so I do like that part of it, but I can't necessarily say that I like super recommend it. Out of all the cars in here, the Zaruso is definitely pretty good. It's the best performing by far out of all of them. However, I would say that the JB700 as well as the Vaca are definitely my two picks out of Simeon's selection this week, because they are both removed, and I just feel like they're just a little bit better. And at the Luxury Autos dealership, we have the Pegassi Torero XO, which is not removed or anything. It's just, you know, you can buy it at the best of times. And we also have the Albany Roosevelt Velour. Now the Velour has some customization options, or at least more so than the regular Roosevelt has. So the Velour is definitely a lot more worth it to pick up, in my opinion. So definitely pick up the Velour if you're going to get one of the Roosevelts this week. Within the Chop Shop this week, we have 3 vehicles available that are new to be stolen. We have the Gangbanger Robbery for the Dubocci Champion, we have the Duggan Robbery for the Mammoth Patriot Milspec, and the Cargo Ship Robbery for the Ubermacht Sentinel Classic. And last but not least, guys, we got to talk about the time trials. To start off with today, we have the RC Bandito time trial Cypress Flats. For your Junk Energy time trial, we have Mirror Park. And for your regular time trial, we have End to End, which is a pretty cool one. We also have the HSW time trial, and it is going to be Terminal to Chiliad Mountain State Wilderness. So I believe it starts somewhere in this general area and it ends up by Mount Chiliad. So really not too hard of an HSW time trial this week. Not that any of them are really that challenging. Anyway, guys, that has been it for what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.